The 2017 Infiniti QX30. We've had an idea of what the Infiniti QX30 would be for a while now. Not only did Infiniti bring a concept that was clearly very close to production ready to the Geneva Motor Show back in March, but Infiniti has also already shown us the Q30 hatchback, which is basically the same vehicle. Not only that, but both the Q and QX versions are built on the Mercedes-Benz platform that underpins the A-Class in hatchback form and the GLA-Class in crossover form. But this is more than a simple rebadging. The QX30 will be built in a Nissan factory and many of the parts and all of the software will be Infiniti. So there are some surprises still to be had with the QX30, especially since it won't actually hit dealerships until 2017. But Infiniti is giving us a good look at the new crossover at the LA Auto Show, and to be sure that everyone gets a good look, it is also being shown at the Guangzhou Auto Show in China at the same time. The US and China are likely to be the biggest markets for the QX30, so this debut makes perfect sense. Update: the 2nd of August 2016, Infiniti announced US pricing for the QX30, and the base model is cheaper than the Mercedes-Benz GLA it is based on. Check out the pricing section for more details. Continue reading to learn more about the 2017 Infiniti QX30. Exterior. The look of the QX30 is obviously pretty similar to that of the Q30, and it is even surprisingly similar to that of the Geneva concept. There were a few of the sorts of changes that you'd expect in turning a concept into a production car. The mirrors are bigger, the wheels are smaller and so forth, but the sheet metal is essentially the same. It is also, obviously, taller than the Q30 hatchback, even if that design is slightly taller than what is usual for its niche. It's a bold design, with strong creases running down either side, a different sort of look than Infiniti's other crossovers. Bold and unique designs are important in the compact crossover segment. Bold and unique designs are important in the compact crossover segment. Infiniti's press release is filled with dense marketing nonsense language, but the overall point is still a valid one. The sorts of people who buy compact crossovers don't want one that just looks like a shrunken version of a brand's bigger crossovers, they want something unique. Nissan taught this fact to the automotive world with the Juke, and wisely elected to follow the same path with the QX30. This will be especially useful in a market niche currently dominated by Germans, where shrunken versions of the X5 or the Q5 have been the mainstays. Interior. The design of the QX30's interior is unique to Infiniti, but you might notice some Mercedes parts if you look closely. These are small things though, like buttons, and even if they aren't unique, it's not as though Mercedes makes bad interiors. There is a big 7-inch screen and everything is covered in Nappa leather in your choice of black or beige. This includes leather on the dash, complete with visible stitching on the seams, which really looks surprisingly good. Infiniti also says the QX30 will have one of the quietest interiors in its segment. That's quite a boast, and it'll be interesting to see when the crossover finally hits showrooms. The seats are even said to offer above-average support for your back, something that anyone who will be driving a QX30 for long distances is bound to appreciate. Drivetrain. There are several things that Infiniti isn't telling us about the QX30's drivetrain, while other areas are gone over in great detail. We know that parts of it are made by Mercedes and parts are made by Infiniti, and we're guessing that the parts we're hearing about at great length are the ones Infiniti built. This essentially boils down to the all-wheel drive system and the suspension. The suspension is one area where the QX30 differs from the Q30, not just in that it's higher, but Infiniti has put a lot of time into tuning the suspension to counter the effects of the higher center of gravity on the crossover. The all-wheel drive system is said to be capable of sending up to 50% of the engine's torque to the rear wheels in the event that the front wheels start slipping. This obviously suggests that the QX30 is essentially front-wheel drive during normal operation, a common setup in smaller vehicles with all-wheel drive. Infiniti hasn't said anything about what engine will be offered, probably because this is a global debut and there will be different engines for different markets. But it has said that there will be a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, same as you'd find in a Mercedes-Benz GLA-Class. So it's pretty likely that, like the Q30, the QX30 will get the 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine out of the GLA. That means 208 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, assuming that this does actually turn out to be the engine under the hood. Safety. The QX30 obviously hasn't been crash tested yet, and the NHTSA hasn't published any results for the GLA-Class yet either. But the good news is that there are Euro NCAP results for the GLA, and it was awarded a 5-star rating. There will be a number of electronic driver's aids as well, although Infiniti has been oddly vague about these. We do know that there will be around view monitor with moving object detection and intelligent parking assist. Infiniti has even found a way for the radar for the adaptive cruise control to pass through the badge on the front grille. It's a small thing, but it eliminates the need to find somewhere in the front fascia to mount it, and nobody is going to argue that it doesn't look better for it, even if it is just a minor detail. Prices. Pricing for the US spec QX30 starts from $29,950, which makes it nearly $2,900 more affordable than the Mercedes-Benz GLA it is based on. It's also significantly more affordable than the BMW X1 and the Audi Q3, both priced from more than $33,000. For $29,950, you get the standard model with front-wheel drive. Opt for the luxury trim and the sticker increases to $32,600. The premium version retails from $35,300, while the QX30 Sport is the most expensive FWD model at $38,500 before options. Moving to the all-wheel drive variants, the luxury AWD starts from $34,400, while the premium AWD retails from $37,700. The prices above don't include the $995 destination and handling fee. Competition. Audi Q3. It's debatable whether or not the Mercedes-Benz GLA-Class should be considered a competitor to the QX30, but fortunately, there are some others to choose from. The Audi Q3 is made using the same philosophy as the QX30, take a hatchback, in this case an A3, raise it up and change one letter in the name. The Q3 is likely to be the crossover to beat, as it offers superior driving dynamics and currently holds the title for the quietest interior. Read our full review on the Audi Q3 here. BMW X1. A strong seller in this segment, the X1 can boast the most powerful base engine out of the competition, although it's still just 20 more horses than the QX30 is likely to have. Features like all-wheel drive are standard, but the X1 also offers up a longer than usual options list, and the result can make for a seriously above-average interior. Read our full review on the BMW X1 here. Conclusion. One of the big complaints that the Mercedes-Benz GLA-Class has faced from the public is that a lot of people find it unattractive. It does at least look different from the rest of the Mercedes crossover lineup, but that's not quite enough by itself. The QX30 looks good though, and since its mechanical underpinnings are also shared with the A-Class and the CLA-Class, we know that it will live up to the expectations for the segment. It's odd that Infiniti has just built a better Mercedes than Mercedes, but that seems to be what we're looking at here. Love it. Easily the best looking vehicle in the segment. Mercedes guts means we know it'll be good. Maybe a Nismo version? Leave it. Using another company's platform doesn't inspire confidence. Infiniti seems far more concerned with marketing the vehicle than building it. Still a long way away, and so many unanswered questions.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.